Well, let's start. Let's start. I got a bunch of tabs to go through to give you an idea of who this man is, Tim Walz. Okay? First example that I have for you. First example. Here is a New York Post article. Now, this was just recently posted because people are trying to they're bringing up the dirt, right? What dirt do we got on this guy? And oh my goodness, there's a lot. Well, here it starts. He says he'll invest in a 30-foot ladder factory. I mean, he literally says if Trump is going to build a 25-foot wall, I'll be the first one to suggest we should invest in a 30-foot ladder company. Why? Because he doesn't believe in borders. They think Kamala Harris straight up said, if you are in this country, you deserve health care, all the benefits, all the bells and whistles. Not citizens, if you're in this country, period. And then specifically asked, she said, let me be very clear. If you're in this country, you deserve this. It's like, these people don't understand that if it requires someone else's labor, it is not a human right. Healthcare is not a human right. Unfortunately not. I'm sorry. Of course, I live in a place that has this weird balance between capitalism and socialism, and it works because it's a homogenized society for the most part, at least for now, even though they've taken over 1 million immigrants that have completely changed a lot of the situation here, which now has caused a huge uprise of a right-sided government that just took over last year because the people are sick of the people coming in that don't give a shit about the systems that are set up for people who actually care about the system. They just want to use the system and milk it dry. Again, about the people who didn't earn it, don't give a fuck about the people's time that do earn it. That are okay with paying taxes because it actually comes back and they know the community at large appreciates it. Like, it works if everybody is on board. As soon as there's that one person that doesn't agree, that doesn't care, that just wants to use it, the entire system gets rotten instantly because then people smell it. Oh, there's an easy road. There's an easier path. There's a lazy way to do things. And then more and more people get lazy, okay? And then suddenly the work's not getting done. Then suddenly there isn't enough. Then they're going after the people who are the few and far between, the people that are actually doing the work. And then what do? Well, eventually it's going to crumble and all fall apart. Look at the past 100 years, 150 years. What happens? Let me ask you, what happens when communists get in control? Historically, what happens? Well, I'll tell you if you don't know. Millions of people die. Millions and millions of people die. Mao, you know Mao? He had the Red Army, the children of the country. He brought together and had them tattle on anyone who was disobeying government law. You know who else did that? Tim Walz. Tim Walz. Let me give you an example. I'll play. This is a recording of a hotline. Oops, sorry. Let me do it this way. This is a recording of a hotline from Minnesota. I'll just play it and let you decide for yourself.
Hello, you have reached the Department of Public Safety stay-at-home hotline. The information you leave is considered public information. At the tone, please leave the following information: your name, your callback number, how the stay-at-home order is being violated, and where the stay-at-home order was violated. Thank you.
Record your message at the tone.
That was during 2020. Yeah, they set up a hotline to tattle on people. Who's disobeying the government? Who's disobeying these laws that were laid out by experts that were not voted on, that weren't even actually experts? OSHA is bullshit. The Chevron deference that got overthrown a couple maybe like a month ago. If that had been overturned in 2019, none of that shit would have actually happened because the experts couldn't just make law. That's what they were doing because of that. So because of this is unconstitutional. This is them using their power completely corrupted. Tim Walz is one of those people that is a communist that's using their power corruptedly. It's kind of insane. The more you look into it. Oh, but it gets worse. Here's one of his quotes. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. Yeah, until you have a neighbor that doesn't give a fuck about you. Until you have a neighbor that steals your stuff, rapes your kids, and kills your wife. I mean, that's what's happening. Look at Britain right now. Even in Sweden, in America. I mean, it's happening all across the West. There's these people that are coming in that don't give a fuck about the Americans, the Brits, the Swedes, any country that is being invaded right now across the West. It's all the same. Everywhere you look, there are these people. Neighborliness? What the fuck is that? No. We're being conquered right now. And the government wants it to happen because they don't want governments. They don't want countries. They don't want border walls. They want the disruption of all of these countries. They can't stand the Constitution. They can't have sovereign citizens anywhere for their plan to work. This is all going according to plan. Kamala is just a freaking pawn on the chessboard of what they're playing at the Bilderberg meetings. All the shit. This line proves to me that Tim Walz is the perfect running mate for Kamala because they feel and think the exact same. They don't give a shit about America. Yes, demoralization, exactly. They're trying to demoralize the citizens. Man, there's no better example right now than in Britain. America's huge. You got to remember, America's massive. 370 million people, 350, I don't know exactly how many citizens, but Britain's not even close to that. Maybe a third, if that, right? 70, 90 to 90 million. Let me look it up because I actually don't know. I think that's the case. Population of Britain. $70 million. Okay, I was actually right on the money. Look at it. It's a two-tier society. The police are arresting the native-born Brits, the people who actually are living there, the people who are British, the ones that care about the country, and they're ignoring all the immigrants that are actually causing all the problems to begin with. It's insane. But they're conquered. They're not being conquered. They're conquered. Right now, they're just slowly weaning out the native population. That's what it feels like. And I feel if Kamala Harris wins, that's going to happen in America too. I think that's why they were fighting Trump so much. See, Trump, he made the mistake of trusting too many people. When they lost in 2016, they said, fuck, okay, what do we got to do? We need to make sure that the people around him are working for us, that the information that he's getting isn't exactly the right information. It's skewed. You had that general who literally went on the record and said he withheld information from the sitting president because he thought he knew better, basically. That's treason, as far as I'm concerned. That's crazy. Here's an image of Minnesota under Tim Walz. Yeah, remember that? The mostly peaceful protest? Yes, General Miley. Thank you, Brad. Yeah, Yeah, the mostly peaceful protests under George Floyd. Right. The guy who died off fentanyl. That's how he died, by the way. Fentanyl killed him. It wasn't a knee to his neck. Chauvin shouldn't be in jail. I said it. I don't give a shit. He shouldn't be in jail. Fuck George Floyd. Fuck George Floyd. I said it. I don't give a shit about George Floyd. The dude held a pistol and robbed a fucking pregnant woman. He held a pistol to her belly while he robbed her. Fuck George Floyd. This is disturbing. Okay, what I'm about to read you about Tim Walz. Okay, so fair warning. So this is from Sarah Fields. She's great. Let me just adjust this real quick. Actually, I'll just do it this way. Sarah Fields. Under a 2015 Minnesota law, the state formally was required to report whether abortions resulted in the live birth of a baby, what actions were taken to preserve the life of that baby, and whether that baby survived. Yes, this is them talking about abortions that are at the point where the baby can survive, which is disgusting to me thinking about that. Horrifying. Okay? Those reporting requirements exposed that between January 1st of 2021 and December 31st of 2021, physicians performed 5 abortions that resulted in a baby's live birth. Due to efforts by the state's Democratic governor, who served from 2019 until present, Minnesota no longer even kept track of born alive babies. Tim Walz, the new Democratic vice president nominee, repealed the bipartisan measure in May of 2023, stripping the state's requirement that the measure be taken to preserve the baby's life and health, and merely replace it with a nebulous requirement for care. These motherfucking people do not give a shit about life. They do not give a shit about you. They do not care about me. They don't even care about the people that vote for them. They do not care at all. All they care about is power or filling their bank accounts. That's it. They do not give a shit. It's not hyperbolic to say satanic blur. I agree. These people would watch you burn alive and laugh at it. They do not care about citizens. They don't. Look, here's Tim Walz signing legislation that allowed 81,000 immigrants, illegal immigrants, to obtain driver's license in Minnesota. Oh yeah, driver's license for all. Everyone gets driver's license. You know what a driver's license also is? Your state ID. It's an ID card. What do you mean? You get just giving out licenses to people? They can just go get licenses? What is this shit? No, they want no borders. Okay? I don't even think it's about just trying to maintain power with votes. I think that's surface level shit now. They don't give a shit about that. They want to destroy the country. That's what they want. They don't want America to be anymore. Period. That's what they want. Oh, man. There's so many different angles to this. Look at this. Here's another one. Check this out. Yeah. It's from Billboard Chris. Quote, "Let's be clear. This is life-affirming, life-saving healthcare." Oh boy. You know where this is going. Quote, "When our parents tell us who they are, it is our jobs as grown-ups or when our children tell us who they are, it is our job as grown-ups to listen to them and believe you and believe them. That's what it means to be a good parent. Listen to this bullshit. I've never heard someone with children say that to me or say that. And if it is, it's a single mother who just wants to fit in. Guaranteed. It's not a happily married woman with children saying this shit. Absolutely not. Oh, you're a dragon, little Timmy? Oh, all right. I'll make sure to feed you sheep and, clean out your lair. Fill it with golden coins to make you comfortable. No, kids think they're dragons. Kids think they're the craziest shit. They're kids. They don't fucking know any better. The human brain doesn't stop fully forming until 25. Our job as parents, as grown-ups, is to listen to children and believe them when they tell us who they are? What kind of bullshit is this shit? To quote Norm Macdonald, that's some commie gobbledygook. Oh, it gets worse. This is Tim Walz's lieutenant governor, Peggy Flanagan. And in case you were wondering, it's a dude. Of course, he's wearing a protect trans kids with a freaking knife. This is their favorite new shirt. It says protect and then a dagger, trans, and then a heart or whatever, kids. I don't know if you know this about me. There's no such thing as trans kids. That's bullshit. There are kids, and then there's mentally ill humans. Yeah, mentally ill, okay? If you think you're trans, you have a mental issue. That's it, okay? If you come to grips with that and you've accepted it and you still want to be trans, more power to you. But you trying to force it on kids, fucking, we have a problem, all right? And you can get fucked. Because that is unacceptable. That's a line as a society we deny. Okay? The majority of human beings think that is psychotic to want to give quote unquote life-affirming care. No human being is born in the wrong body. Zero. In fact, I saw an argument going around that it's homophobic being trans, telling kids that, oh, well, if you're a boy and you're into boys, you might be a girl. If you're a feminine guy, and it's like, actually, you can just be gay. It's fine to be gay. I don't care. I mean, it happens. All right. I mean, there is a correlation with the child abuse from previously gay people. I'm sorry, I have something in my throat. Yeah, I am sick of these people. But Charlie Kirk actually did a good sum up. I'm going to finish this out with just reading what Charlie wrote, because he did a great breakdown real quick. I'm going to rock it out. Check us out. It's from Charlie Kirk. Welcome to the race, Tim Walz. Let's make sure America knows who you are. You helped ignite the George Floyd riots, the worst the country had seen in decades. When Minneapolis burned, you stalled on deploying the National Guard for an entire day, blaming the city for not submitting the right paperwork. You let your daughter leak the Guard's deployment plans online so that rioters would know how long they had to loot the city with impunity. Minneapolis is a war zone because of you. Just days after the attempted murder of Donald Trump, you called him and his supporters fascists, egging on the same rhetoric that led to him being shot in the first place. You have overseen some of the most radical youth trans surgery laws in the country. Under your leadership, teenagers can get their breasts chopped off and get sterilized, and your government calls it health care, life-affirming care. You have the most radical abortion laws in the country, 0 limits. Every year, 5 to 6 babies are born alive and then murdered legally under laws you support. Note that he actively changed to allow that to happen. On his hand, not just him supported, he signed the fucking law. On immigration, you famously said you wanted to provide a ladder so invaders can come over Trump's wall. You are a radical open border zealot. You oversaw the single worst fraud of the COVID era, the Feeding Our Future case. Thanks to the ineptitude of your Department of Education, criminals stole $250 million of taxpayer dollars to spend on luxury cars, houses, and vacations. Oh, yeah, remember that? Black Lives Matter? Yeah, Black Lives Matter. But they just want money from everyone to spend on themselves. Communism. Yes. Also during COVID, you approved $500 million in hero pay for frontline workers, only to have 40% of that money go to people who were ineligible, or in many cases, literally deceased. In the House, you were Pelosi's sidekick and did whatever the Democrats demanded. The perfect sheep. Yep, you will try and disguise yourself as a folksy Midwestern moderate. In reality, you are a white male version of Kamala Harris. Radical, inept, undeserving to be in leadership. Charlie Kirk is 100% correct here. He is the white Kamala Harris, as I said earlier. They deserve each other.